can send group in group.
Yeah, just send it right now, ma'am, because usually I used to take
Okay.
that in it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, great. So now let's quickly make a start of it. No, the people who have given it, you can ignore. Okay, these are the people who have not yet provided. Okay, so now let's look into a new topic for today. Who's going to share your screen? You can quickly share your screen, please. Okay, thank you, sir. So let's quickly make a start for today. And you can just click on the resource group and it should be empty. Then we are quite good to start. Okay, it's empty. So today we are going to focus on a few things. Okay, so let me talk about that. And before we do that, let's quickly create a virtual machine. So you can open that. Yeah, you can just click on virtual machine and you can just spin up the virtual machine for today. Click on a create button and as usual step. Perfect, sir. Now just scroll to the bottom here on the same page. Just scroll to the bottom. And usually if you have seen this guy, here there is an inbound port rule is there, and inside the inbound port rule there is a guy which is called RDP, which is being checked in. Every time this guy would have been checked in if you have made a notice on it. If you just select the drop down box, there are like multiple other functionalities are there. RDP is there now. Yeah, now you can able to see HTTP, HTTPS, SSH, RDP. These are the ports which are there. Now RDP will be selected on by default whenever you create a Windows machine. Okay, that's fine. Now you can click somewhere outside. Now you can just click on review and create. This will spin up a virtual machine for you and me. Click on ignore. You can just click on create button. Okay. So now let me share my screen and we will talk about the theoretical stuff for today's curriculum and then we will move on further. So last class we were looking into a topic that is known as backup. I hope you guys are clear with that. Now today we are going to look into a new topic that is known as NSG. NSG is nothing but network security group. This is the expansion of it. What is this network security group? It's similar kind of a firewall and it basically divided into two parts. One is inbound port rule, another one is the outbound port rule. So inbound port rule and outbound port rule. What is inbound port rule? The traffic which coming towards a machine is known as an inbound. The traffic goes outside the machine is known as an outbound. The name itself as in and out. The traffic goes towards the system is known as an inbound. The traffic goes outside the system, then it is known as an outbound. Okay. This is the two things that we have inside the NSG. That's it theoretically from my end. The rest of the other things we are going to do it practically for the better understanding. Now you can share your screen, please. We will do it better. Yeah. Now the creation of the machine is done. You can click on go to resource. And now in the left hand side, you can click on network setting and you can click on network setting. Yeah. Now if you just scroll down here, you can able to see the NSG. Okay. Just scroll down, scroll down. Now to make this table better, okay, to visualize better, just decrease your Chrome size to 80% just for a couple of minutes. Yeah, this looks better. Now you can able to see the complete table of the inbound portal. Expand the outbound portal also. Now this is the energy. At the top of the box, you can able to see energy network security group, and the name of the resource is given as bm1-nsg. Okay. Now here you can able to see that there is an inbound portal and there is an outbound portal, and three rules in the inbound and three rules in the outbound are created by Microsoft. You cannot able to delete, you cannot able to edit, you cannot able to do anything with that. Okay, so those six rules are created by Microsoft, three in the inbound, three in the outbound. So ignore those things, and top of it, whatever the rules are they, those are created by a human being like you and me. Okay, now you can able to see that there is a new rule which has been created in the inbound portal with the name known as an RDP. Okay, and usually RDPs will work on a port number called 3389. This is the first time you're just having a note of it. Just keep this inside the head. This is something really important. So RDPs usually will work on a port number called 3389. Okay. Now there is an action called allow. Now that's the reason that you can able to connect towards this machine. Just scroll to the top on the same page. Just scroll to the top. You have a public IP. Now, if you have a public IP, you know very well that you can able to connect towards this machine. Just try to take an RDP towards this machine. Now the connectivity to the server is happening. Perfect. Now close this. Let's close the complete machine. Let's close it better. Yeah, perfect. Good job. Now let's try to create one more rule and we will play around on it. Now click on a create button and click on inbound port rule. Now under the service, select RDP. Under the service, select RDP. Now we know very well that RDP is going to work on a port number called 3389, which has been automatically filled up. Now there is an action called allow or deny. Allow means which will allow you. Deny means which will block you. Now let's click on block, which means deny, and give a priority number called 290. 290. Now, whatever the name that you want, you can give, but this name is quite good for me. So I will directly click on add. Now you can able to see that there is one more rule which has been created inside that box. If you just scroll down the box, now there are like two rules are there. Okay, inside the inbound. One is like RDP, which is allow, and another one is RDP, which is 3389. Both ports are same. Just look into the port. Okay, 3389 block and 3389 deny. Sorry, 3389 deny and 3389 allow. So we have two rules are there. Now, which rule is going to work for me? It is based on the priority number. Which is a least number, guys? 300 is least number or 290 is a least number? Which is a least number?
290.
290 is the least number. So this least number is going to have the highest privilege. And what this least number says? Deny. So all the RDP requests are going to be denied right now. Even though you have a public IP, you cannot able to talk towards this machine. If you want, you can go ahead and try that. Now, usually when we have a public IP, what I mentioned, the connectivity will be possible, right? Now, see, the connectivity will not be possible towards the server. It's loading for a long time. Now, you will get an error in 1 or 2 minutes. See, it's not connecting. So you just wanted to make sure that there are certain rules which can be declared inside the network layer. Okay. So if it is denying, then you can't able to talk to the machine. Let's play around one more time. Click on a create port rule button, click on inbound. So why do you choose inbound? Because you know very well that RDPs are the request going towards the system. Okay, so that's the reason it's an inbound. Now select the service and click on RDP. Now you click on allow and give a priority number called 99. Okay, you are getting an error. What is that error? The priority must be between the range of 100 to 4096, which means you cannot keep any number that you like. Okay, so it should be within that range. 100 will be accepted, but 99 will not be accepted because it's out of the range, right? So you cannot able to keep any number that you like. There is a predefined numbers are there. Within that number only you should use. Now let's give a number called 289. Okay, now whatever the name you want you can give, but this name is quite good. Click on add. Now look into the table. The table has been updated. So now 3389 allow, 3389 deny, 3389 allow. So there are like multiple rules are there. What is going to be happening right now? So now what is the least number priority? Guys, which is the least number?
289.
289.
289. What 289 says? Allow. So now
Yeah.
the RDP's request will be allowing. Okay, if you want to give a try, now give a try. If it is prompting for a username and password, then we know very well that the connectivity will happen. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Now you can minimize it. Now we know very well that what is the NSG. NSG is nothing but which has two types. One is inbound portal, which the traffic goes towards the system. Outbound portal is nothing but the traffic goes outside the system. Okay. Now you can just define the rule accordingly based on your particular scenarios. And there are like only two options are there. Either you can allow or you can deny it. And the least numbers are going to have the highest privilege. Now the numbers cannot be any number that you like. It should be within the range of 100 to 4096. So these are the common things or the important things that you need to keep inside your head when it comes to NSG. I hope everyone are clear. Can I have a good round of S? No?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you repeat again this love?
Okay, not a problem. NSG basically divided into two parts: inbound portal, outbound portal. Inbound portal is nothing but the traffic goes towards the system. Okay, the name itself has in. RDPs are going towards the system, so it's basically an inbound. Now, outbound portal is nothing but the traffic goes outside the system. That is known as an outbound portal. Now here, the least numbers has the more privilege. Now, if you see inside the screen, 289 says allow. So now the RDP request will be allowed. Even though you have denied, it is not going to be obeyed. Okay. So the least number is going to have the highest privilege. That is a concept that you want to understand. The numbers, you cannot keep anything. It should be between the range of 100 to 4096. Clear, sir?
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
So,
Now,
Satish, I have a question.
yes.
Sorry to interrupt. So, this port rule, so in which scenario it is basically applicable in real time? Like, where can we use this inbound port rule in the real time,
In which
priority
scenario?
wise?
At all
Like,
scenarios.
in real time, like in companies, how do we use this inbound port rules?
Okay. Now, I can give you one example. Okay, some sort of real-time example. Now, what can happen now? He can just share the public IP with me. Just scroll to the top, and we all know the public IP. Okay, what is the public IP? 98.70.97.93. I know the public IP address, and I know the username also. Okay, his first name is the username, and I don't know the password. If he is sharing the password, now can you able to log in to the VM? Like you know three informations. You know
Yes.
public IP, you know username, and you know password. Can you able to take a remote connection to your to this machine?
Yes.
Anyone can take, even I can take, or any other guys can able to take. But in the real time scenario, you should not keep like that. That is something very quite wrong. Okay. So if this password, he is keeping a password, a very simple password, like he is keeping like hello at 12345, or the password is 1234567 8. Those are common password that the people used to keep, right? Now if he keeps a very dummy password, then if even I can able to crack it, then I can do anything whatever I want inside the VM. So that it should not be in that way. So what he can do, I will let you know. Open a new tab of your browser. Just type what is my IP address. Click on the first URL. Now his IP address is 101.0.62.182. This is the public IP address that he is getting from his ISP vendor. Okay. Now what you do, you just go to the portal.azure.com. It starts with 101. Okay. Just have that inside there. Now delete these two things. This we created two rules, right? Or you can just delete that first one and the last one. Two allows are there, na? Just delete that two allows. Now we have only one rule, which is known as deny. Now even he also cannot able to take a remote connection to that machine. Am I right, guys? Even he
Yes.
also cannot able to take a remote connection. Now what you can do,
Yes.
you can click on create button, inbound port rule, and under the source, click on the source at the first one. Click on my IP address. The intelligence will try to find your IP address. What is your IP address? Your IP address is 101. Whatever the IP address which we saw over that portal, it's exactly going to be the same one. Okay. Now you go here. Now you can just select the RDP, okay, as a service, and you can click on allow. And you can give a number, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. You can give a number call 280. Click on add. Yes. Now what I did, just have a look into it. Now the first rule, what it says, 290, it says deny all the RDP request. It will completely deny. What is the second rule that I created? Allow the RDP, but if the guy is from the IP address 101. Now Pooja, like if you just look into your computer and find what is your IP address, your IP address is going to be different. It will not start with the same thing, 101. Now,
Right.
even though you know the public IP address, username, and password, now you cannot able to log in into the system. Okay. So the companies will always create a rule which is very specifically what they want to do. Okay. They won't give any kind of an extra privileges so that any attacks or something which will not happen for sure. Okay.
Yes. Thanks. It's clear.
Okay. Thank you. Now you can be very clear with the thing what you are going to do and what you want. Okay. Now even anyone in this group who wants to take an RDP, they cannot able to take even though he reveals the username password. Okay. But what happens in this scenario, right? There is a small drawback. Now he is getting the IP address from this ISP vendor, which means the internet provider. Now the internet provider can rotate the public IP address at any point of time. Or for an example, now he connected with the Wi-Fi. He turn off the Wi-Fi. He turns on the mobile data from his mobile and he tries to connect the laptop. Now, if he is a genuine guy who tries to sign in, he cannot able to sign in because earlier he was getting the network from the Wi-Fi. Now he is getting from the hotspot. So both are different vendors. So different IP address. So he cannot able to take an RDP. So what you need to change, you have to update your public IP address. But when it comes to industry, they will buy the dedicated public IP address for the job. Okay. So it will not be rotated. So it's not going to be a dynamic IP. It's going to be a static IP address. Even if you want a static IP address for you, you can call your ISP vendor and say that, hey boss, I need this dedicated IP address, which is known as 101.0.162.182 for myself. And what is the amount which I need to pay for you? And he will give the complete detailed structures about it. And you can just do that if you want. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's clear. Satish, one more small and irrelevant
Yeah.
doubt. As you mentioned that we can have a static IP. So in AWS, I know we have a concept called elastic IP. Do we have something like that in Azure as well?
In Azure, whatever the IP address that you're creating, it's a static IP address, no dynamic. Everything is static.
Okay, okay. So we don't
Even
have to
you,
like, yeah,
you don't want
sorry.
to worry. Okay. Even though you stop the server, you turn on the server, you create a server today, after 20 days or 20 years you come, okay, that IP address is going to be synced because it is going to be the
Okay,
static.
okay, got it. Thanks.
Okay. Now we are all clear with this concept, how this RDP requests are going to work and what is network security group. We are clear with that. Now, since we had a good practice on the inbound, let's have a same practice on the outbound as well. Okay. Now, what you can do, you can just go to that RDP, which we have already taken. You can just go to RDP, the RDP which we have taken. Yeah, you can open the Edge browser here. Yeah, it's a slow from VM level. Okay, since you log in for the first time, it will ask you 4 different questions. Start without data, continue, start without data, continue. Not a problem. Yeah. Now just type facebook.com. That's gonna work. Okay. If you open a new tab and if you just type youtube.com, it will work. Or google.com, in any website that you want to hit, that's gonna open here because it's a browser. So whatever you are hitting, that websites are going to be opened here. Okay, that we know very well. Now, what's happening here? The requests are going outside the system. The request is going to Facebook, or the request is going to YouTube, or the request is going to the internet, right? Now, I want to completely block this. How to do that? Okay, let's learn about that. Go to the energy and click on create port rule. And this time you can give a outbound port rule because the requests are going outside this time. Click on outbound port rule. Under the destiny, the third one, click on service tab and click on internet. Okay, it's already selected. Under the port number, 8080 is there now. Remove that and put the port number called star. Star. Star means all the port numbers. And click on the action called deny. And the name you can give like block internet. Name is there now. You can modify the name since we didn't play around on it. Just doing it for this alone. Click on add. Job is done. Okay. Now we created a rule inside the energy to block the internet. Now, if you just go inside the VM and close the existing browser and reopen it one more time and hit the Facebook and YouTube, close it and open because some browser might have a cache or a cookie mechanism. So better let's close it and reopen it. Yeah. Now try hitting the website, Facebook or Google, any other page, whatever you want to hit. Okay. Those web pages will not work here because we blocked the complete internet. So the traffic goes towards the system, inbound. Traffic goes outside, then it's outbound. Everyone are clear? You can see that how long it is taking. And within a couple of minutes, you will get an error that can't reach this page. Go to Facebook. I think Facebook got that. Yeah. See, it doesn't mean that the Facebook and Google are down. It means that your system cannot able to reach that. Everyone are clear? Can I have a good round of yes, no?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So now if you just go ahead and delete that particular rule, and if you just go ahead and retry, then it would be working on. So just delete that Now, if you go to the machine, YouTube will be working. Or open a new tab and try Facebook, something. It will. Okay, now it is working. I hope everyone are clear with this. Very simple. Okay, the least number is going to have the highest privilege, and whatever the rules that you want to do, you can do it. And there are like only two options, either to allow or either to deny. And according to the system, you can just design your complete networking flow. So now this part is done. Let me share my screen and let's focus on the next topic which I need to do. And I share my screen, and the next topic which I need to do is known as NIC. NIC is nothing but network interface card. What is network interface card? Now there is going to be a machine called VM1. Now this machine is going to have the NIC. The NIC which is going to have a public and a private IP. Very similar like now you have a mobile phone with you, and inside the mobile phone you have a SIM card slot, correct? If you just inject a small pin into that small hole, the rack will come out and you will place your SIM card 1 and SIM card 2, and you will inject that rack back to the mobile device so that the device is going to get the cellular network. Like the same way, now there is a server. Now this server needs to be having a communication either by using a public IP or a private IP. If there is no IP address for the server, then you can't basically connect towards it. If you don't have a SIM card, then no one cannot make you a call over the cellular network. Okay. Same way, the machine needs to have either the public or the private. This public and private will be added on the NIC, and the NIC which is going to be attached with the VM1. This is how the system will look like basically. Everyone are clear?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
now let's try to understand it better. You can share your screen, please. Now, if you just type NSG in the global search, just type NSG. NSG is nothing but a network security group, which we saw earlier, right? So it is going to have a name called VM1-NSG. Click on it. So here also you can able to see the same rules whatever we had over there. Okay, so it's a complete different resource. Either you can able to access it from this standpoint, or from the VM itself I will go to the network setting and I will access it. You can either whatever your wish, you can just do that. Now let's focus on the NIC. Just type NIC. Click on NIC. Now there is a NIC is there, which is with a name known as VM155, and which is being attached with the VM1, and you can able to see the logo of the VM1. It's been showing you the title known as attached. Okay, so it clearly shows that this is the NIC which has been attached with the VM1. Okay, now let's go into the NIC and expand the setting and click on IP config. Expand the settings on the left hand side and click on IP config. And inside this, you have something called IP config 1. Yeah. And we know very well that this is the NIC, which is known as VM155, which has been attached with the VM. Now, this particular NIC, which has two things. One is the public IP, another one is the private IP. What is the private IP? 10.0.0.4. And what is the public IP? 98.70.97.93. This is the public IP. So by using that only, we took a remote connection right now. Now the virtual machine is created. I want to revoke the public IP. How can I able to do that? Very simple. Just click on the IP config when there is a checkbox which is already being checked in, and you can click on it and you can click on save. Yeah, uncheck, save. Now what you're doing, you are just removing the public IP for the VM1. And I hope you gave the save button. Now you can close this guy or you can cancel. Okay. Now see, there is no public IP. Now you try to access the RDP. Just try to click somewhere. It will not respond because the connectivity has been removed. Okay. So this guy is not attached with this guy right now. So even though the energy says allow or something, the connectivity will not happen. Everything's are interconnected right now. I hope you can able to understand. Everyone can able to connect.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. How about the other people? Only two people are there. The guy who shares a screen cannot able to talk. I know because he needs to toggle between multiple screen. How about the others? Guys, are you
Yes,
clear?
understood.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Makes sense. Now let's go to the portal.azure.com. Now I need to add a public IP to this VM. Okay, I created a VM by saying that the public IP is none. I created it. Later point, I think that this machine needs to have a public IP. Then what do I need to do? Very simple. Click on it. Yeah, click on IP config when, and there is a checkbox. Click on it. And 1 minute, and already 1 minute. Already we have created a public IP. Select the drop-down list under the public IP address, which is known as VMware-IP, which is nothing but 98.70.97.93. Okay, click on save right now. So we are just attaching it again. No, sir, I want to have a unique IP address. Now the merge will happen. Now it will work. Yeah, perfect. Now I want to create a new public IP address and I need to attach that. Is it possible? Yes. Just type public IP address in the search. Now see, there is one public IP address is there. Okay. Now click on a create button. Just give a name call. Keep it inside RG1 and region Central India. Okay. Now you can give a name, any name that you like. Test public IP. Perfect. Just scroll down and I will show you something. And you see here, yeah, IP assignment, which is known as static. Okay, so always the IP address is going to be static, so no dynamic. Okay, so you don't want to be worried. The IP address is not going to be rotated at any point of time. Click on review and create. Now there is a new public IP that has been created. Now click on go to resource. Just do the small refresh in mid of the screen. Yeah, you got it. Click on go to resource. Now we created a public IP address. What is the IP address? It starts with 4.213.208.243. Okay. Now I want to attach this guy with that guy. How can I able to do it? Very simple. Just go to NIC and you know how to do it. Click on NIC. Yes. No. The VM155. That one. Yeah. Click on setting IP config. IP config. And click on this guy. And now select the drop down. Yes. Perfect. Click on save. So the rotation is going to happen. Now this VM1 is going to have this IP address, which is called 4.213. Now just type VM in the search and go to the VM1 and just look for what is the public IP it has. It will be having something known as 4.213. Okay. So I hope everyone are clear with the process of it. Now what we will try to do, yeah, this will not log in for sure. And what we will do now, just type public IP address in the search. Click on that. Yeah. Click on the test public IP and just click on delete. it will not be deleted because it's very clear signal that, hey boss, I have been attached with someone. Okay. So you cannot try to kill me. If you want to kill me, then you have to remove me and then you have to kill. Okay. So directly when they are couple each other, you cannot remove that couple. Okay. You have to uncouple it and then you have to kill them. So you know how to uncouple it. You have to go to NIC and you want to do that process. Okay. No, sir. I want to do the easiest process. Here you have a deassociate button next to the delete button. You can able to see that, I believe. Next to the delete button, this side, right side. Yes. Now what this guy is saying, hey boss, now I will go to NIC and I will remove this. Okay. Click on S, the same process. So NIC is a key point here. Okay. Now it got removed. Okay. Now you try to delete, it will be deleted. Everyone are clear?
Yes.
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 So now, yeah, now let's connect that NIC with that previous IP address and we will try taking RDP because I need to go into the machine. So go to NIC, click on associate. Let's try from a different mechanism. Click on associate. Yeah, to which NIC you have to do it. Resource type is a network interface. And how many NIC you have? Only one. VM 155. So you can just do at any style that you want, but the underlying concept is same. Okay. Now you try taking the RDP with this public IP, it will be connected to the VMware. So before proceeding the next topic, everyone are clear with the process of NSG and NIC? Yes, no?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Okay, perfect. Now the next one I'm going to talk about, yeah, let's try to understand that first. You can just go to your base machine. Yeah, now the VM1 is up, correct? Now let's try to check that. Just open the command prompt from your base machine, CMD. Let's do the ping request, okay? Copy the public IP here and just type ping and then type the public IP. Yeah, enter. Now the machine is up and running, right? So I should get the request. But see, I'm getting the request timeout error. Why the reason? Even though the machine is up, the request is not reaching. I got 100% loss, even though the machine is up. Why? Because you have to understand one thing, okay? This ping request are usually going to work with a protocol that is known as ICMP. Okay, we have to allow that. If you're not allowing, then this is not going to work for you. So now you know how to allow that. You have to go for NSG. Just you can go to virtual machine, go to virtual machine and click on network settings and click on create inbound port rule. Minimize the outer one for the better visual. Perfect. Now here the protocol is there now. Protocol you can select ICMP v4. Yeah, and you can just give a name called ping. It can be anything. Yeah, click on add. Now what we did, we just added the protocol known as ICMP, which is used for ping. Now I gave an action called allow also. Now let's open that command prompt and let's run it one more time. Again, the request is not going. Why it is? Even though I gave allow from the network layer, it's not going. It's not reaching the machine. But my machine is up. Why the reason? Let's go inside the VM, okay? And I will make you understand. And inside the virtual machine, there is something known as firewall, okay? Go inside the virtual machine, the RDP, my bad. Now, just type firewall. Just click on Windows Firewall with advanced security. Not this. Firewall. Just type firewall completely with advanced security. Yes, yes. Maximize the screen of that guy. Now there is a firewall which is inbuilt inside this VM. Now, what is firewall? Again, same process, inbound and outbound. Now you can able to see inbound rule on the left hand side. You can just click on it. There are like multiple rules which are created inside the system. In the left hand side, inbound. Yeah, there are like multiple rules are created. Okay. Now let's create a new rule. Click on new rule and click on the custom. Click on next. Click on next. Now the protocol type is ICMP-v4. Select the drop-down list. Yes. Click on next, 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 next. Now give a name called ping. Any name that you like, you can give. Click on finish. Now you added one more rule inside the firewall of the machine. Now you go to your base machine and try the ping request. Now the communication is happening. Now see, 0% loss. Earlier 100% loss were there. Now 0% loss. Now let me share my screen and let me make you understand by drawing my architectural design so that it might be better for you. Now I share my screen. This is the VNet and this is the subnet. And inside the subnet, I have created my VM1 and this VM1 is going to have the NIC and this guy is going to have a public and a private IP. And my energy is going to be attached with my NIC. Okay. Now, what happens inside this machine? There is something called firewall. Now, how this request is going to go as a user when you do the ping request, it goes to the public IP and it goes and check the energy. And if it is allowed, then it will reach the machine and it will check the firewall. If it is allowed, then it will allow. So these many layers it needs to go on, even for the same RDP. Okay. So now it will go for there and it will check at energy. If energy says block, the directly block will happen from here itself. It will not reach the system. Okay. This how the complete process is going to be working on for you. Is everyone are clear with the architectural design?
Yes.
Yes.
Just think of, I could not able to do this over the PPT. Okay. So that's the reason throughout my curriculum, I would have never ever used any sort of PPTs and bullet points. I totally hate that. Might be I've said that before or not, I'm not sure. So I will not ever use PPTs for the learning curve because PPTs are going to make you bored. It makes my job easier by simply reading the bullet points and showing some images. But the architectural design, that's going to really help you. Now, at any point, whatever the topic you want to go, and if you just click on it, it's going to really help you. Now, if I just click on this talks about the peering concept. So which is about the VNet 1 and the VNet 2 peering. Everything is going to make perfect. So that's the reason just requesting you from the day one, just write your handwritten notes. That's going to save your life. Okay. I hope many people are doing it. That's what I think so. Okay. So this how the design is going to be. I hope everyone actually. Can I have a good round of S now?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes, Satish.
So now let's move on to the next thing. So 1 minute, 1 minute. Let me share my screen. So the next topic I'm going to talk about DNS. Does anyone knows about this DNS?
Yes.
Okay.
Domain name server.
What it basically does, one core functionality it does, what it basically does for you?
Replace the IP and it can give a name for a server.
Yes, exactly. So what it basically does, it converts the host name into an IP address. Okay. So that's this is what it basically does. Now, as a user, now what's going to happen behind the scene? Let's try to understand. Now there is a application that I have created. Okay. So I'm the owner of an application known as Instagram. Okay. Now I have a server. Inside the server, I host my application that is known as Instagram. Okay. Now my virtual machine is going to have an IP address. Let's take it's a public IP address. You know very well that public IP address anyone can able to access it. As a user, any user like you guys, when you directly open your browser and when you hit the public IP, that website is going to be opening for you, which means like Instagram.com. If you just type Instagram.com, it will open a page, right? Like the same way, if you directly hit the IP address, even that is also going to work for you. Okay. Now, why the human beings we are not using IP address directly on the browser? Why we are just typing something known as a host name or the domain name? Because the reason is very simple. As a user, we guys are using multiple websites on a day-to-day basis. Like we use portal.azure.com, teams.microsoft.com, and then instagram.com, telegram.org, web.whatsapp.com, portal.azure.com, and ticketnew.com, bookmyshow.com, pvr, like the list goes on. Okay. So these are the social platforms that I'm talking about. And I use personally many other sites as well for my work as well. So as a user, I will be accessing multiple websites on a day-to-day basis. So I cannot keep the IP address on my head. So this DNS, which saved our life. So in your browser, if you just type the domain name, this guy is going to translate into an IP address. This IP address is belongs to the VM, and inside the VM there is an application which is up and running. So this user is going to have the application which is known as Instagram. This how the works. How this works. So if the server is down, what happens? The Instagram application will go down, boss. Okay, that we have to understand. Now let's think that you have a mobile phone. Inside your mobile phone, there is a WhatsApp application which is up and running. If you switch off your device, then WhatsApp will be accessible. Guys, will it be accessible?
No. No.
Why?
No.
Why? Because the reason is very simple. It's a software which is running on a hardware. If the hardware goes down, whatever the software which is running on top of it, it will go down, boss. So you cannot able to access. That's the reason that whenever you go outside, okay, any of the government offices or any of the bank, they say that the server is down today. We can't able to do this job. Just come after 2 to 3 days or after 1 hour. Or the server is busy. The server is not giving a proper response. This is what happens behind the system. Everyone are clear? So you have to
Yes.
understand the system, how it is working.
Yes.
Okay. So how to get this DNS? How to get this domain name? So I know very well that how to create a public IP address, how to attach it with a VM, these things you know. But we doesn't know that how to purchase a domain. Most of the people know that. If you doesn't know, let's have a look into it. You can share your screen, please. Now, if you want to purchase a milk, okay, so what do? You go to the shop which is nearby your house. You can do that, or you can just put an order on Zepto, or you can just go to DMart and you can buy. So there are like plenty of shops are there for you to purchase a milk, right? Like the same way, now you want to purchase a domain name. There are like plenty of vendors are there. So you can just go to any of the vendor and you can just purchase the domain name for you. And I'm just gonna show you one of the famous vendor, which you might be aware of it, which is known as GoDaddy. You can just open the new tab of the browser and just type GoDaddy. And this is a page where you can just purchase your domain names. Now, I'm planning to purchase a domain name which is known as youtube.com. Can I do that, guys? Is it possible?
No,
No.
Why?
it's taken already.
Yeah. So let's give a try. Type the domain name you want is there, no? Just type youtube.com and hit the enter. See, it's already taken. So you cannot purchase that. If you want something better, then you can choose that. Okay. It gives you multiple suggestions, and accordingly, whatever you want, you can just take that. Now, what you can do, like you can just take some new websites that you want. Let's take some new website called Azure. What you want, you can just type Azure, your name. Don't give space. .com or .in, .net, whatever you want, you can just give. Yeah, hit the button. Now, if it is already taken, it's gonna give a message. If it is not taken, then it is available. Click on make it yours and click on view cart at the bottom. At the bottom, next towards that. So now you see that you have to pay $43, okay, to make that domain name for yourself. And that is going to be renewed for the next 3 years. No, I don't want 3 years. I want very short, then make it as 1 year. So for that also you need to pay some dollars. Okay. So you have to pay $11, which means like $12 you have to pay. And so that this particular domain name, which is being registered for you, so no one can able to purchase it. So if you wish to do the payments, you can just proceed further, but I don't recommend. Why do you want to waste money by purchasing it? No need for you. So just ignore it. So if you click on continue shopping, provide the card information, OTP, alas, it's going to be added. Everyone are clear? Now you know how to purchase a domain name from a public vendor. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's it for today, which is from my end. So I covered the thing, whatever I planned for today. NIC, NSG, and then firewall, and then about the DNS. Any questions?
Satish, if example we have a domain name, how are we going to connect it with our IP?
I will let you know. Okay. Might
Okay,
be
that's the next one.
tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I will cover that topic. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. So any other questions,
So,
guys?
so actually, like in the firewall, we have an options to block an internet. So,
Yeah.
like I just want to, allow the internet, but to block some applications, particular applications. So for that
Oh,
applications, is there is any options to do that?
yeah. You have. For an example, you want to block only YouTube, but if the people want to access Facebook. Is it possible?
Mhm.
Definitely the answer is yes.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
I think yeah. Okay, so I mean like it is like for like how it is achievable? Like we have to
Okay. So it's a little bit challenging. Okay. To be honest, it's a little bit challenging. Now you cannot able to achieve it over the NSG. Okay. You have a different topic, okay, which is coming on the networking part. That's a core networking of Azure, which comes under the curriculum of AC700 and which will have the NAT rule and other things that you have to create, and you have to block the complete domain name, not by using the IP address.
okay.
Because youtube.com, you want to block it over the domain name, not by the public IP address, because youtube.com will have multiple public IP address.
Hmm.
So if one public IP address you block, when it routes for the retry mechanism, basically those heavy weighted applications will use multiple public IP addresses. They use CDN, okay, so which has been a content delivery network. which is going to be a front end, which is going to be spread across the world. So if one IP address is blocked in a retry mechanism, it will open the next one. Okay, so the website will be working on. So you want to go very deeper in the networking part, and you can able to achieve this inside the portal.azure.com itself. It is achievable, but you need to have a greater knowledge on the networking part to achieve that.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, I take it as no. So we will connect tomorrow and we will try to learn higher the ladder. Thanks all for everyone for joining with me. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.